rain fell hard that evening, cold and endless, painting the streets in streaks of silver. Lena Walker, a young artist with a fascination for antiques, ducked under the awning of a small, dimly lit store tucked between two abandoned buildings. The wooden sign above read, "Grayson's Curiosities, since 1912. Inside, the air was thick with the smell of dust, wax, and something faintly metallic. Rows of shelves crowded the narrow aisles, porcelain masks, clocks that no longer ticked, and mirrors that seemed to absorb light instead of reflecting it. Lena's eyes landed on a small display near the back, a glass case containing old toys, wind-up monkeys, cracked music boxes, and dolls with fading eyes. But one doll stood apart. It was porcelain, about 2 feet tall, dressed in a tattered white gown. Its blonde curls were perfect despite the dust, and its glass eyes, blue, too blue, seemed to glimmer even in shadow. Around its neck hung a small metal tag with engraved letters, "Annabelle, 1892. Lena smiled faintly. "You're beautiful," she whispered. The shopkeeper appeared behind her, a thin old man with cloudy eyes and a voice like dry paper. "That one," he rasped, "is not for sale." "Why?" Lena asked, half amused. "It's just a doll." He shook his head slowly. "It belonged to a little girl who died here." "They say she never left," Lena chuckled. "Then maybe she'd like some company." The man stared at her, then sighed. "You don't listen, do you?" She didn't. 20 minutes later, she left the store with the doll, carefully wrapped in an old blanket. The old man stood in the doorway, watching as she disappeared into the storm. Lena's apartment was small, paintings on every wall, candles half burnt, a life of quiet creativity. She placed the doll on a wooden chair near her easel and laughed softly. "Welcome home, Annabelle." That night, she worked late. The rain never stopped. Around 2 a.m., she heard something, a faint scraping sound. Her brush paused mid-stroke. It came again, a slow drag across the floorboards. She turned, heart thumping. The doll sat in its chair, still as ever. "Get it together," she muttered, shaking her head. But as she turned back to the canvas, a soft click echoed behind her. She spun around. The doll's head was turned slightly to the left. It hadn't been before. Her breath hitched. She picked it up, examining it closely. "Old joints," she whispered. "Just old joints." But the metal tag on its neck felt warm. Lena set it back down and went to bed, uneasy, but too tired to care. Morning came gray and silent. Coffee brewing, she glanced toward the chair. Empty. The doll was gone. Lena froze, cup halfway to her lips. "Okay, I definitely left you there." She searched the apartment. The doll sat neatly on the kitchen counter, hands folded, head tilted toward the window. Her phone buzzed. A text from her best friend, Marcy. "Still buying creepy junk from old men?" Lena snapped a picture of the doll and replied, "Meet Annabelle." She hit send. Seconds later, her phone pinged again. Marcy had texted back, "Funny, but next time, don't send cursed pictures. That thing is behind you." Lena's blood turned cold. She turned slow as stone. The doll was sitting on her couch, 3 meters from where she just left it. That night, Lena couldn't sleep. Every shadow looked alive. She finally turned on her camera, setting it to record overnight. By morning, she watched the footage through bleary eyes. For the first few hours, nothing. Then around 3:17 a.m., the doll moved. Its head jerked, slowly. Then its body twisted, stiff and deliberate, until it faced the camera and smiled. Lena dropped her coffee, breath trembling. She grabbed the doll stuffed it into a box, and drove straight back to Grayson's Curiosities. But when she arrived, the shop was gone, the windows boarded, dust coating the sign. A for sale notice flapped in the wind. Her heartbeat pounded in her ears. An elderly woman passing by stopped. "That place?" she said. "Been empty for years. Old man Grayson died in the 70s. Lena's hands shook. No, I just bought something from him last night." The woman frowned. "Honey, nobody's been in there for decades." Lena backed away, her skin crawling. She dropped the box on the steps and drove off, hands trembling on the wheel. When she reached home, the apartment felt wrong. The air was heavier, and on her bed sat the doll, unboxed, waiting. Lena screamed. She grabbed it, hurled it into the fireplace, and struck a match. Flames roared, orange and wild. Porcelain cracked. The doll's painted smile blistered and peeled, but the metal tag began to glow red hot. A voice rose from the fire, soft, girlish, and full of hate. "You took me home." Lena stumbled back, covering her ears as the flames exploded into a shriek. The lights shattered. Then silence. Smoke filled the room. The doll was gone. Only the tag remained, blackened but whole. Blackened. Weeks passed. Lena avoided the topic, told no one. She threw herself into painting again, trying to forget. But her art changed. Each new painting came out darker, shadows twisting behind figures that shouldn't be there. One night, working late, she noticed something odd. The girl she'd painted on the canvas, a child in white, had blue eyes. Too blue. Her hand trembled. She stepped back. The painting smiled. Her phone buzzed. A message from an unknown number. "Do you like it?" Lena froze. She turned her phone over, metal scraping against her palm. A small, scorched tag had appeared on the back, fused into the case. "Annabelle, 1892. She dropped the phone, eyes wide with horror. In the corner of her studio, the air shimmered. The faint outline of a small girl stood there, half smoke, half shadow. Her porcelain face cracked. The doll's voice whispered, echoing inside Lena's head. "You didn't burn me. You brought me back." The lights flickered. The child smiled. The camera zooms slowly on Lena's trembling face as the whisper fades to nothing but the hum of static. Then, darkness.